Yeah, the buzzer go out a little later sometimes.
All right.
The alert. So you can kick it off though.
Ready? Okay. Hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, first off, we like to say, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Farq Wadash. All right, the water, Yahweh for giving us Yahushai. And double honors to the apostles of GMS who have the 100% spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai in them. Double honors to the CT bishops. All right, elders of GMS, our big brothers, Akim. And greetings and salutations to the brothers in this country and all over the world, prophesying the true name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is none other than the power of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and anybody who are descendants from those people on their father's side. Shalom to those who are scattered abroad. All right. You agree know who we are. Lord willing, the men of the Lord. You know. All right. We serve Yahweh Shai, our deliverer, who is the son of Abba Yahweh. All right. And you know, as the scriptures say, scriptures talk about let your was in Peter's.
Yeah, 2 Peter 3.
You were about to say let your conversation be.
Yeah.
That's
holiness.
So we were talking before this, you know, talking in the spirit, you know, which is more proof that we're those men, man. Okay, we're not talking about dumbass P. Diddy or any dumb kind of low IQ knowledge here. We're talking in the spirit. So anyway, the point is, I was basically talking about something I read this morning, and Jeremiah 51, and it's basically verse 42. Okay, and you know, I did that show yesterday, going into you know, talking to brother Elder number one, and we're just talking about I was talking about the show I did, talking about the current events, right, and how the current events are symptoms, are proof of the symptoms of a diseased world, all right, you know, which is basically out of ease by all the drama, not the drama, all the conflicts that's going on in the world today, right? But there's an article I picked up from Russia Today, and I'll read that real quick, and you know, correlate and filter it through the scripture in Jeremiah. Okay, so basically this is from Russia Today, and it's titled, it says the G20 members lobby the EU against seizing Russian assets. Okay, again, it says the G20 members lobby the European Union against seizing Russian assets. So the first paragraph here says, Saudi Arabia and Indonesia have reportedly been raising concerns over their own reserves held in the West. That's the word they use, reserves.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Saudi and Indonesia have reportedly now. I'll read the first paragraph. We'll get more into it. It says, the confiscation of frozen Russian assets could set a dangerous precedent in international law. Indonesia and Saudi Arabia warned the EU at a recent meeting of G20 finance ministers, and the Financial Times reported on Friday. So the word there says confiscated, because remember, with all the regulations and tariffs or whatever have you, what America's doing against Russia, right, is you know, they did it on purpose to disrupt the market, world economies. But you know, it's backfiring. Right, because Russia, you know, maybe they went down a little bit, but they're not suffering, man. Germany has one of the top economies in the world, and all the businesses, all the nations that are doing business with Russia are doing better. All right, but anyway, by America freezing their assets, what it's about to explain, is basically confiscated. They're stealing it. It says the confiscation of frozen Russian assets could set a dangerous precedent in international law. Indonesia and Saudi Arabia warned the EU at a recent meeting of G20 finance ministers. So it reads on, it says, the U.S. and its allies have blocked around $200 billion in Russian central bank assets as a part of sanctions imposed on Moscow over the Ukraine conflict. So it's another key thing to point out that the frozen assets, the amount that they froze and blocked is 300 billion in Russian, it says Russian central bank assets, which is part of the sanctions, right, imposed by, the West, right? So, let me see if there's another point here. Okay, yeah, it says in this paragraph, right? So it says, because what's this leading, it's about to show it's leading to a lot of these nations are getting angry with America and how they dealing, internationally, man. So anyway, it says the U.S. and its allies have blocked 200 billion in Russian central bank assets as part of sanctions imposed on Moscow over the Ukraine conflict. Most of the funds are held in the EU, and it says most of the funds are held in the EU, and while Washington has insisted that international law allows for the appropriation of the funds, that's the word that I looked up. Appropriation, if I'm saying it right, means basically borrowed or borrow something to put back later. So it says, and while Washington has insisted that international law allows for the appropriation of the funds, some EU members, including Germany and France, have been reluctant to take that step. So that was a point, there's more to it, but that's the main point. So
you got that article too about Ukraine, NATO?
Yeah.
You got that one, right?
You want to read that to me?
Yeah, bring that one out
Okay,
too. Babylon is about to find itself in a real sticky situation.
Yep.
Real sticky situation. That's prophesied, because they're gonna do everything wrong, right? But right. Everything wrong according to how the geopolitical works, geopolitics and all that. But it's gonna be everything right according to the scriptures.
That's right.
So, Elder got another article. That one was definitely interesting about Ukraine.
Because what you're pointing out, we're pointing out in the spirit that what we're trying to point out, which we're going to bring out in Jeremiah 51 and 42, is that, which is prophecy. All these nations, man, remember, where are the missiles going to come from?
Yeah.
They're going to come from Russia, and they're going to come from all these other nations.
All the other nations.
Right? Because when you look at the beginning of Jeremiah, it says that I shall send fire against Babylon, the fanners shall fan her, or something like that.
They shall fan her. Yeah.
The fanners of the other nations, man. So, what I just read, it proves that, because the other nations within the EU, Germany and France, disagree. They're not even tapping into that money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But America, their devil ass is. Okay, so I got another good one for you. All right. So this is I'll keep reading. This is another article. It says Russia Today again. It says Macron, that's the president of or prime minister of France. I can't pronounce his name. But it says Macron's Ukraine idea could start World War III, a NATO member says. All right. So the first section says, sending NATO troops to Ukraine. This is his quote. The Hungarian foreign minister, prime minister. It says, sending NATO troops to Ukraine could spark an all-out nuclear war. Hungarian foreign minister Peter Szijjártó has warned. Okay, so look at that. He didn't say troops, he didn't say it was going to start a nuclear war,
which is World War III. Yahweh Shah said it, that you should hear wars and rumors of wars.
That's right. You see, everything's pointing towards a nuclear war, a war dealing with great, immense fire. All right, not a forest fire. We're talking about nations. All right, miles and miles, square miles, burnt and blown up in smithereens, man. All right. By the way, I was just telling you, I know you probably saw it already. You didn't saw it, but Pastor talked about that thing on Netflix or on Fallout. I saw the first. Now I said, yo, go look at it, check out that first scene. That scene was crazy. Did you see it?
No, not yet.
Oh, all right. Well, it's dealing with, you know what? All right, destruction. All right, but anyway, one paragraph. It says Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó has condemned the latest remarks from French President Emmanuel Macron about the option of sending troops to Ukraine and has warned such a move could ultimately spark an all-out nuclear war. All right. One more paragraph. It says, speaking to French broadcaster LCI on Thursday, Sajaro was asked for his take on Macron's renewed threat to deploy his country's troops to back up Kyiv or Ukraine. It says the diplomat strongly condemned the idea, saying that the French leaders' comments themselves have contributed to escalating the situation. He says if a NATO member commits ground troops, it will be a direct NATO-Russia confrontation, and it will then be World War III. End quote.
Hey, all signs point to World War III. You know, and you wanted to get that in Jeremiah first, bro?
No, you got it. Yeah, I'll get that if you have something real quick.
This is the book of Obadiah 1:6. It says, how are the things of Esau, right? How are the things of Esau searched out?
I'm gonna read it for you.
Yeah, Obadiah 1:6.
1:6.
The point is the 7 I want to get.
Okay. Gotcha.
The water, yo. These guys are cool.
Harass. Oh, this dummy here?
Yeah. Like the title states, Babylon is done, and all things point to the downfall of this man's kingdom. You know, everything is gearing towards World War III at the end of the day. And like we always say, before World War III pop off, the main key prophecy that gotta take place is the implementation of the mark of the beast. All right, that's gonna happen. So all of these that we talking about, the current events that we speaking on, is just to show you what time we're living in. Like 2 Peter's 3rd chapter, knowing all these things shall be dissolved, what man and person ought you to be in all holiness and godly conversations, right? So that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. But you got it.
Got you. Obadiah, start from 1?
Yeah, no, just go to 6.
Go to 6?
Yeah.
Obadiah, verse 6. It says, How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Who's Esau Edom? We all know that, the so-called white man. How is his? We know what his intentions and his inventions are. We know what he's doing. We know what he's trying to do. All right. You know, they would really, none of these nations really don't want a World War III, but Esau's going to try to establish global dominance. But what that's going to do is you got all these nations on edge. It's inevitable. They cannot want World War III all they want, but it's going to happen. And Esau's doing everything right to fulfill prophecy and everything wrong against all these other nations that he eventually is going to wrong. You know, and matter of fact, that's why the scriptures say he shall be caught in his own snares, in his own gem, which he laid out. So that's how we're going to get caught up in it. You got it.
His ultimate snare was making that nuclear weapon, which the Lord made him do anyway. You know?
That's how I made that, yo.
But that was a good point you said, man. That's true. He doesn't really want to do nuclear war, man. It's a really scary tactic, you know. But because nuclear war, billions of people are gonna die, man.
Yeah, it's over.
You know, which they want, but not to the scale damaging the world like that, you know.
Right.
But yeah, so they don't want one. They don't want hundreds of millions, maybe 1 or 2, but they don't want hundreds of nuclear missiles detonated.
What does what Einstein said? He said World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. That's pretty much. In other words, after this Third World War, Esau know that his ass is going to be, I don't want to say, into the Stone Age, but that was like a metaphor.
Yeah, metaphor,
because after this World War III, these elites know that Yahweh Shai and the elect are coming down from them ships. They know that. They know that. So Esau is literally kicking the can down the road and avoiding
trying to avoid
the inevitable, prolong the inevitable.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want World War III, but you know what though? The Most High wanted, and you know what? We want it too.
He's hardening their hearts like
Pharaoh.
Egypt.
Exactly.
Because on a small scale, they do want it, but probably 1 or 2 missiles.
Right. Something small.
They they can use whatever agenda they want to do.
Right.
But they don't want to full out with the scriptures.
Yeah, they can't pull a Hiroshima and Nagasaki again. They can't do that because all the scriptures say in Joel, let the weak sound strong.
That's right.
They can't pull another one of those.
That's right.
They pull another one of those. Listen.
That's right.
They just can't, bro. Because them other nations are gonna bomb the shit out of fucking Babylon.
Good point.
And that's not how it's supposed to go down.
Because they knew that Japan was gonna retaliate back in the 40s.
Nah.
Now people can retaliate now. You know?
Yup. Yeah, we living in different times, bro. What happened over here? You got it, though.
That was it for that. You wanted more?
Yeah, verse 7. Verse
Okay.
7.
It says, again, verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Right. Who's the men of thy confederacy? Esau's allies. Psalms, the 83rd chapter, tells you about Esau and his compadres that pretty much helped to take Jake down. Psalms 83, right? And then you got the men of his confederacy, which are the allies, NATO, the EU, these other nations. Go ahead.
Come. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Mm-hmm.
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
All of the allies.
Yep.
All of the allies. All of the allies of Babylon agree.
That's right.
Because the Lord is setting it up that way because, Russia's going to be one of the, Gog and Magog, Russia is going to be the main ones to lead this assault, so to speak, really the Heavenly Father. But he's going to use all of the allies, all the NATO, the EU, Esau. Remember the whole pipeline incident that took place. That just, a couple years ago, a year ago, something like that?
Yeah.
That messed up the EU, them European nations. Now they got to pay higher gas prices, fuel prices.
They were pissed off at Babylon for that.
It was mad. And everybody know Babylon did it.
Yeah. Because Babylon got to sell their certain oil to Europe instead of Russia.
Exactly.
You know? Yep.
So the way Babylon is doing it is like the saying go, there's no honor amongst thieves. Esau, Babylon really is going to do something that's going to vex these nations.
Yeah.
It's going to vex these nations. But you got it.
And just another point too, when they did that to the whole pipeline thing, and then they got this, they were the number one source to sell oil to Europe nations. European nations caught on that it was even more expensive. You know what I mean? It was kind of benefiting them.
Exactly.
Not the people in Europe. You know what I mean?
Which that's the saying. Who benefits? Yeah. I forget how it goes, but whoever benefits the most, obviously that's the motherfucker you point your fingers at.
Yeah.
That's not a quote go, but in Ebonics you can get it. But you got it.
It says again. It says all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Right. So all those pacts, right, and agreements, and all these, because Esau do everything by law, right? All them agreements and pacts and unions and all that shit, it's all gonna be done away with. That's why all of them that were at peace with thee, the men, they gonna deceive you. They gonna break them fucking agreements that they had with Babylon, that organizations, the NATO organizations, the EU organizations, they gonna say fuck to hell with it.
Yeah.
Is that not an agreement in an organization? Absolutely.
Well, even
treaties.
I'm sorry, brother.
No, you good.
But even what we just read, just backing you up, even what we just read, in the articles, that's proven that the infighting's already begun. Because again, Germany, what does it say? Germany and France, they don't agree with Babylon going and tapping into
the Ukraine.
The Ukraine, the frozen assets that Russia has.
Yeah.
The $200 billion. But then Ukraine thing too. They don't. That Hungarian prime minister doesn't agree that France should be, sending in NATO troops to Ukraine because it's in store World War III.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of infightings, man.
You see, that's the thing though, because they all in one agreement, right? One accord, so to speak, but not really.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, Esau, Babylon make all these agreements with these other nations and say we're all going to be one, like NATO and EU, right? Or NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Yep.
But really, who's leading it? Who got the final say so at the end of the day? America.
That's right.
But like Jeremiah tells you, what is it, 51? How is the whole hammer of the earth broken down? Babylon the Great is the main culprit of this whole shit that's about to go down.
That's right. It says, and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Yeah, that's it. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound underneath thee. Right now, eat thy bread. You think about it. Do not, when you come together, you break bread. You on one accord. Esau, they that eat bread with thee is talking about his allies, his compadres. Those that he's dealing with right now. So they that eat thy bread pretty much is going to be the ones that are going to shoot nukes on this place.
That's right.
Another precept is Revelation, the 17th chapter.
That's right. Yep.
I believe verse 15.
Yep.
You know, you could jump to that whenever whenever you get
Okay.
around to that, because
Get it right now.
and then you could get the what is it, Jeremiah
Jeremiah, right?
51, right, and then you can finish it up.
Revelation 17 and what was it? Verse what?
16, I think.
16. Yeah, that's the spirit, man. Wow. That's the spirit, because it ties into Jeremiah with the sea and the wave analogy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'll start from 14. The points in 15, you said? Or 16?
16 is a point.
Yeah. Let's start from 14, please.
All right.
Revelation 17:14, it says, "These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them,
Yup.
for he is Lord of lords."
Yahweh Shah is the Lamb. These is talking about we could tie that with 2nd Ezra 13. When Yahweh Shai come back, these nations are gonna stop what they're doing, halt their differences, for so to speak, and then try to fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels. So they're gonna make war with the Lamb, guys.
Come. It says, "These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them."
Because the Lord's gonna destroy them.
That's right.
Yahweh Shai is gonna destroy them. Isaiah 66 and 15, he coming with his chariots, and he come with fire in his chariots like a whirlwind, roughly paraphrased.
Oh, let me go back to Obadiah real quick, because it said the next verse to the story.
Okay.
So Obadiah verse 8, it says, "Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau?" There you go.
See, the Lord is coming to destroy.
Yep.
So it's not what these nations want and don't want. It's what the Lord wants, which is the kingdom be established. Two kings can't sit on the same throne. Earth is that throne, so to speak, for men, right? So the present king got to be taken off that throne, and it's gonna go down by war. Exodus 15 and 3, the Lord is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. So you got it.
Another quick precept, Cam,
Yeah.
or something, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, it says, "Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword."
But a sword. And what's that sword? Read Revelation 6. Tells you it was given, show you that the Most High controls everything. It was given the red horse. In Revelation 6, it was giving him a great horse, a great sword, and he shall take peace from the earth.
Yeah.
So when something is given to you, you don't. It was granted to you. In other words, just like Esau's blessing, his blessing was the sword, and is the sword. So it was given unto him, and the Most High gave him the technology to destroy his own empire.
That's right. Yep. That's right. Back to Revelation. It says, "For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful."
The 144,000.
That's right.
That's the elect, the 144K. Revelation 7 on down, the 144,000, which consists of all the men from the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Okay, those are those men.
The government body.
Thank you. Took the words right out of my mouth, brother. The governing body, the future rulers, the true elites. Okay, of this world to come.
That's right. Keep going.
Yeah.
Verse 15, it says, and he saith unto me, "The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues."
Now that's going to, like you said, is going to precept or line up right to where you want to go to in Jeremiah. So the nation, when you read up above, it tells you about the nations, the waters that the horse sit on, right? And it represents the people, the nations, the kindreds, and the tongues. The scriptures symbolically refer, as what else? Mountains. That's symbolic talk. That's hip talk, if you may. Yeah.
It says, verse 15, it says, "To me the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, multitudes and nations and tongues, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore."
The EU nations.
That's right there. Yep.
They shall hate the whore.
Yep.
They do hate America. Like, how long French motherfuckers been hating America?
Oh yeah. That's a fact. Since I was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, we know why, because of history, but You know,
Yeah,
it's just something. It's just something you always knew. Like, why do French people hate Americans so much? It's just something that always stood out, right?
Well, no, that's true. Because it's history, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some words they had a French-American war.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the scriptures too.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel 7. Obnoxious, greedy, you know, loud, you know, shit like that.
Yep, uppity, stout.
Yeah,
The scripture say his look was more stout than his fellows.
Yep.
You know, it's like tribalism against Esau. Tribalism within Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one Edomite tribe think they better. And we know the small hats. Really, who run America is the small hats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they run America. The leaders of Babylon are all connected to the small hat lineage. And we're gonna say that small hats. You know.
It says, verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
There you go. They shall make her naked, meaning they're going to shoot missiles over here and totally just waste this place. It's going to be empty. That's when you're naked, you empty your garments off of you, right? So America is going to be made empty. It's going to be made naked. It's being revealed. And that's how ultimately her shame is going to be shown when the Lord destroyed this place, because that pride ain't nothing worse than falling from that pride.
Yeah, man.
This great egotistic ass narcissist kingdom.
Yep.
You know, just being wasted like that shit gonna shatter your pride.
Yeah.
It's gonna shatter a motherfucker's pride, man. With these Edomites. But go ahead. You know? And that's the thing.
Yeah,
you got it. You got that.
So back, I guess we'll finish off in Jeremiah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just that's the spirit, man. So I'm gonna tie what you brought in Revelation to this, and with the articles we read earlier, proving that the prophecies are happening in real time. Because what we're reading and what we're reading in the scriptures, we're reading in the news articles, is pointing that these nations within their allies, they're getting getting agitated with America, man.
Oh yeah.
They're disagreeing. Anyway, Jeremiah chapter 51, verse. I'm gonna start from 36, right? The points in 42, and listen from 42. It says verse 36. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee. The Lord's talking about the nation of Israel, all the wrongdoings that we've been going through under the rulership of Esau, the nation of Edom. Right? We've been the main source of their oppression, man. The nation of Israel. Right? Right? As all these nations getting together, right? Psalms 83rd chapter tells you their whole goal is really to rule the world, but really to extinguish Israel, man.
Yeah.
That's why you go into the hey, what did Putin just do? Release the votes to reveal that
black icons.
Yeah, the black icons that we were really ruling. So they try to wipe us up away from history. Anyway, but we've been the focal point to their oppression. It says, therefore, thus the Lord, behold, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up, and I will dry up her sea and make her springs dry. And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment and a hissing without an inhabitant. All right. If you read it, it's telling you, correlates with Isaiah, right? He's going to make that land, basically like the land that the land of the lost, right? Nothing's going to be desolate, man. Only thing that can do that is the instrument of a nuclear missile. It says, the Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons and astonishment and a hissing without an inhabitant. It says, they shall roar together like lions. They shall yell as lions' whelps. And in their heat, I will make their feast, and I will make them drunken, that they may rejoice and sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, said the Lord.
Perpetual sleep. That goes to show that's Babylon.
That's right.
Perpetual is what? Everlasting.
Everlasting, yeah.
But now ancient Babylon, this people are still there. They're still inhabited to this day. But perpetual sleep meaning it's gonna be, that's it, laid to rest forever.
That's right.
Never inhabited again.
Okay. It says that they may rejoice and sleep a perpetual sleep and not awake, said the Lord. It says, I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with he-goats. How is Shishak taken? How is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How has Babylon become an astonishment among the nations? And like you said earlier, you know, again, it says, how is the praise of the whole earth surprised? You know, like scripture say, pride comes before great fall. You know, everybody, the key things everybody's surprised about, because America's been the big bag bully, puffing their, using their aggression to rule the world. So everybody's gonna be surprised that they're actually falling.
Right.
That's why scripture say Babylon is fallen, you know, because it's still a surprise. They have such great power, you know. Because nothing in this earth can take down America. Only divine intervention, which is the comeback of the Lord, man. They have that much power, right? So it's going to be surprise. So again, how is Shishak taken? How is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How has Babylon become an astonishment among the nations? The point, it says, the sea is come up upon Babylon. She is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof. I'll read it again.
Mm-hmm.
It says, the sea is come up upon Babylon. We just read in Revelation 17, the sea represents what? The people.
Right.
You know? And the nations. So the seas have come up upon Babylon. So the articles we read prove that, you know, these nations are going against America. They're coming upon them. The sea has come upon Babylon. She is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof. The waves, again, are the analogy for the other nations, right? Basically, a tsunami of trouble and waves and conflict, right, is going to come from the other nations, man, and crash down upon America, man, by way of what? War. And what's that instrument? Is going to be nuclear war, nuclear fire, all right? So anyway, when I read that, you know, we were talking earlier, like we just said, and, you know, we were discussing, you know, current news and relating it to the scriptures, you know. So again, the seas come up upon the Babylon. She is covered with the multitude of her waves thereof. Her cities are a desolation. It says, a dry land and a wilderness, and a land where no man dwelleth, neither doth any son of man pass thereby. So, yeah, you know, that's the prophecy right there to show you that this is not going to be an average war, man. We're in a time of things being done that's never been seen before, and nuclear war has never been seen, man. And also, especially the instruments of war that the Lord's going to come with, the chariots, right, to destroy Babylon the Great, you know. But that was that, you know. Yeah. We were just, you know, want the spirit hitting the button, man, like as you always say, to correlate current events, news, and filter and show you to the prophecies, man, that we in that time, man. All right, we in wartime, not peacetime. We're in wartime.
Yeah, so we arrived at our destination, Lord willing. You know, we at camp. Our routes out, we have a blessed camp, and all you brothers out there that's gonna be camping today, likewise. So, Lord willing, just quick, edifying, straight to the point. Till next time, we give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Quadash, and of course, double honors to the apostles of the great millstone who told us the truth, elder bishops, and salutations to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.